It's about damn time.
I think I'm mixing music here. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Polite as Fuck.
You actually still say the same thing. You just say it now with a different
accent every fucking time.
Different enunciation.
Well, I don't know. What else is like a good opener? I feel like it's just nice to say the same thing. It's like comforting,
nice.
right?
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone.
I feel like if I do too much, I really change my voice where I pretend like I'm being too much. I'm like, oh my god, everybody, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. I'm like, oh god, I can't. Okay, well, anyways, you guys are here. Welcome.
Listening to us.
This is Ellie. That's Erica. And we do a podcast. So buckle up. We are honestly quite delusional today.
Very delusional today.
Because we just finished I finished the half marathon, the rock and roll half marathon, and Erica did the fucking full marathon today. So we're
the sleepy girl.
Very sleepy, very sore, very sleepy, but feeling very accomplished, feeling very motivated.
Yeah.
Feeling very fitnessy. So we have I just like making up words.
Doing great fit.
Yeah. Fit is also the word that you can use there.
And we're drinking coffee late in the afternoon as we record this. It's the evening, actually.
Fully sun's out. And we're like, actually, it's bedtime. So we're going to both stop talking. We're both talking into our mics like this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put this down for a second.
Intro, and I'll drink.
I feel like I need to be done with the intro at this point. I feel like they know. Either that or they've clicked out. They're like, well,
these girls are crazy.
So we're done. But I can intro you to what we're actually talking about today, which is kind of just all around our fitness journey, kind of how we got here. Obviously, it takes a lot to train for a marathon and a half marathon, if you guys are not aware. And I don't know, maybe talk about some of our goals that we have when it comes to health and fitness.
Yeah.
And because I'm feeling very motivated. I have a lot of thoughts.
Motivated and also feeling really content in the sense of I went slower than my time has ever been.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was great.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm so just the mental shift, I think, and how that relates to what we're looking to accomplish now.
Yeah.
Versus where we've been.
I totally agree. So should we start with training for this, or should we talk about how we felt during this run? I mean, there's so many things I can talk about.
Let's start with training.
Training. I like it. Well, did you... Boom. Delusional, guys. Like I said, buckle up. This is my third half marathon that I've ever done, and I think this is the first time I've actually trained for it.
Really?
I don't think
The ones you did before you never trained for?
No. Because I was swimming and doing dry land and stuff, that was my training, and I would do additional runs every now and again.
Did you do it in high school?
I did one in high school in my senior year, and then one the end of my freshman year of college.
That's
and
cool.
that one I did not train for, and I was dying. I was that walk run person because I could not do it. I think I stopped after mile 6 and was once you stop, you just can't really get back into it. So this is my first time actually trying to find a training program and stick with it and listen to my body. And I think I learned so much from this, just these, honestly, it's 2 months, 2.5 months from when we decided we wanted to do this until today, the actual day of the race.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I feel like people need a little bit longer, but I think you were just on this high of Ironman and needed to keep the
I need another
training
thing to
going,
train
which
for.
I totally see now that I'm done. I'm itching for the next thing.
Yeah.
Because it is a high, and it's also you just want to keep it going.
Momentum, yeah. Where did you find your training plan?
My dad has done a lot of races before, so I went along with what he was saying for the first like 3 weeks of doing like shorter runs throughout the week and then one long run, and then just like it's not like I haven't been around like the fitness, and like it's kind of like similar to swimming a little bit of just how you train for it. So started off, I think my first like long run was 7 miles, and I worked all the way up until like 11,
which is like really impressive. That's like,
yeah,
you just
like
went and ran 7 miles.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough, but yeah, it was great. And then when we came back from our trip to Miami and North Carolina, that's when I went on and I looked at Nike and like pro running or something running, something like that, which I should have known before getting on here, but whatever. And that's when I saw like actual like days and the mileage. I think when I was running before, it was like, oh, I kind of feel like today's a shorter run, so I'll just do like 4 miles. Or if I felt really good, I'd go up to like 5. Or for my long runs, I just knew like, okay, first was 7, now it's 8, now it's 9. There wasn't a lot of like wiggle room.
Yeah.
But I will have to say, and I was talking to you about this a lot, is before our trip, I really was incorporating going to the gym, because even before we decided to do this race, I just have been wanting to like get back into it, get back on the grind. And I've always enjoyed like going to the gym and lifting weights. And so I was incorporating that as well as running. Oh my God, sorry. It's been a day.
Good night.
And goodbye. That's all I have to say. Which was really helpful. I mean, it was very tiring and I felt sore, but it was easy to kind of manipulate, like, okay, I would go to the gym, rest, and then go to a long run. Like, I would just know what to do. And then I stopped coming back from Miami. I was like, I don't want to go to the gym anymore because I just want to focus on running. And I think I fucked myself with that decision. I don't think I would do that again because I had pain. Yeah, I had knee pain, and I just felt like, I was good cardio.
Sorry.
Do you need a rag?
If you don't mind.
Pause.
Nice.
Anyway, I think me not going to the gym anymore was not helpful. I should have like continued to train. Yeah, whatever. My like strengthen my legs as well as running. So lesson learned when it comes to like my training for this race.
I feel like I'm really glad that we got to go on runs together.
Oh,
it was nice, especially because most of them were like our longer run days. And so even like the first one we did, like I think you and I ended up doing like 4 or something miles together, and then like you turned around, so yours was like 8 and I like went out further a little bit, but like that was just so nice. And even just to know that like I was struggling around like mile 7, and I'm like, well, I know Ellie's running 8, like I need to figure it out, girl. So that was nice.
It's also nice to like hold pace because I feel like we balance each other out. I'm a little bit on the slower side and you want to like be really fast. So for you to be able to like back up and like hang with me, but me also knowing like, okay, she's trying to like train for this marathon. I need to like kick it. I know I can do better. Like you have to push yourself. And so to have someone there to push you and balance you out really helped for those training days. To clarify,
I go out too hard.
And
then I'm dying.
Yeah.
So it's helpful to be like, oh, let's ease into it. Because, I feel like this is not a 2-mile race. It's not like... And I know that, which is weird. I don't know why I do that to myself.
Yeah, for me, I think in the past, I am so fearful of, like, burning out that I will start so slow and then just not set a good rhythm for the run. Yeah.
I don't really know that I need to add anything else. I found a plan on Nike, and that's what I was using as like I was like, okay, I know the long run base for this week is like 17 miles. So at some point I need to run 17.
Yeah.
And it suggested running like almost every day. And I knew I had like, I'm coaching spin classes. I'm going to do like, I want to do strength training. So I ran like maybe 2 days a week in addition to a long run. And then I had my other stuff.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Race day.
How did you
feel today?
Well, I feel like we should start with like how it
The
started.
beginning. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I think we definitely, you would think being athletes most of our lives, we would have like a good ritual and like have everything planned. And I mean, obviously you get jitters, but I feel like I woke up this morning and I was like, where is everything? What am I going to wear? How am I going to do my hair? Like, I was like, spiraling. I could feel you spiraling. And I'm like, what the fuck? We've done this before. We've done this for years, decades.
Yeah. And I was like, I got up earlier than I got up 45 minutes earlier than I originally said I would get up. And I still was like, I need another 10 minutes.
Like, in the kitchen. I don't even know what you were doing.
I don't either. I'm like, why is it taking me so long? I don't know what. And I forgot my Garmin.
Yeah.
I didn't even run with a watch. Which I honestly think helped me. Because I feel like if I would have kept looking and being like,
where am I at?
Where am I? Mm-hmm. What's my pace? And I just listened to my body the whole time.
Yeah.
And it felt good.
I want to touch on that for a second of like listening to your body, because like I think this was the first time in a really long time, not necessarily this race, but maybe just like everything about the race, the training, how I want to like goals for the future, move forward, of like I really felt like so in tune with myself this entire time.
Yeah.
Like even just with everything, I was like, oh my God, what? I love you. And like it was so nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, our start of this race was insane. There was a bit of traffic, and
there was a lot of traffic.
We were running
and we
late.
were late. We left like at least 20 minutes after we had originally said we were gonna leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to take the dogs out. We were just like, just getting all of our shit together. Yeah. We get there. We need to pee because we chugged water to make sure we're hydrated. We see the lines to the freaking porta potties, or I like to call them porty potties. Porty parties. Well, they're not a party. It's disgusting. And I think we waited in line for 45 minutes. The race started at 6:15. We did not start running until 7:15. Yeah. 7:05.
The
last group of people.
The last group to cross.
The maintenance was picking up. The road was being opened. Cars were behind us. Like we were done. The DJ was like, "This is the last one," and like everybody. It was such a vibe though, because everybody there, like it wasn't just like half marathon people or anybody. It was like a mix of people, and you could just tell we were all like, "Oh my! Of course we're the fucking last ones to go."
Like we're not even in a pace group anymore.
No,
this is like all right. Everyone who's late. This is your time.
Start, cross this fucking line, and go.
Which I kind of loved.
Oh, I think I want to do this every time. Did you spill again? Oh my God.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
No, because we were just, I will say it was a little bit annoying, but overall it wasn't annoying to the point where I wouldn't want to do it again. It was nice to like just be passing people.
Yeah.
And be like, I don't know, like weaving in and out, and you feel good, and I'm not like, I was supposed to be like one of the first groups to go.
Yeah.
And I know that I would have just been getting passed by people.
It almost made it like a game.
Yeah.
Like we had to just like an obstacle course of like, okay, there are like 12,000 people. We have to like weave around.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Kept my mind occupied.
I also think it was fun because you were there, so it was like I had like a goal, like a thing that I'm like,
yeah, which I really loved. I didn't think that we'd be able to run together as much as we did, and we ran together up until we couldn't anymore. Yeah. And I thought that was like,
it was so nice.
It was so nice. And we got to experience everything, like that little portion together, which was so nice. And
because it's like, it's fun to run in like with a bunch of people. Like that's why races are fun, I think, or why I feel like are more motivated, because running 26 miles on my own would be actually miserable.
Yeah.
But it was even better because it was like I'm with someone that I like actually know.
Yeah.
And like love and care about it.
And I think that we trained together, and I think we pushed each other. Like we were holding like a good pace, which was really nice. We felt like so fast. It was just so nice. Good. It was, I really enjoyed that. And then when I left you at like mile 7 or something like that, 6 or 7.
It was like 7.5.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked this course a lot. I did not think it was too hilly. I know you have other thoughts, but I did not think it was bad. I enjoyed the half marathon course a lot. The only thing is, like, I wish there was more live music. It's a rock and roll half marathon, and I did not feel like there was that much live music.
It was very spaced out. It was, like, fun when it was there. I think it was so cool that so many people
from the neighborhood
had, like, giant speakers out.
They were giving out stuff. Food, candy.
Sourdough
bread. Like, picklebacks. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And, like, people were doing it. Like, people were drinking. It was, like,
part of me was like,
so
I kind of
nice.
wanted to do the half and just, like,
drink the whole time.
Yeah.
Literally, that would be so much fun. It was nice. People were taking pictures, stopping to take pictures. It was really great. It was like, it was a great atmosphere. Very nice. The weather, could not have asked for better weather.
It was overcast, a little mist, but not cold and not hot. It was like, just
perfect.
Right.
Just right. How was the rest of yours?
Well, the moment that we broke away, it was like, obviously way less people doing that and way less people cheering them on. At first I was fine. I was like, okay, like, this is okay. Like, I was feeling good. I had, like, the high from running with you and from, like, all the people cheering and being in the big group.
Yeah.
But then it was, like, a lot of hills. It was a lot of just, like, rolling. Like, the hill that we ran down, that street, you have to run back up. But then you had to turn, and then it was, like, you know where we went and looked at no one's going to know this, but where we went and looked at the apartment that I ran into the glass door? You know how those hills?
Oh.
I had to run up one of those, cut over, and then run up, like, the bridge thing that crosses over Hillcrest. So it was, like, right away, it was, like, hill, turn, hill, turn, hill. And then you get onto, like, the main road, and then it's, like, this the whole way. Really, the only flat part was the strip when you run out by, like, SeaWorld.
Mission, yeah.
And then you come back, and then
the Hill of Death.
And I was like, oh, this, like, actually isn't that bad, because I thought I had done it. Because it's like you go by...
Was it the one that I was talking about?
I don't know which one you're talking about, but I'll explain what I ran.
Okay.
So, you know where Fashion Valley is?
Yeah. And then, but if you want to take, like, the back roads.
But it's still, like, a freeway. But it's not, like, the main one.
Freeway, yeah.
Because you cross over, like, you're on, like, the main street, like, the 6th lane road. You cross over that bridge, you come around, like, you're a car on the on-ramp, and you're running. And you're, like, running, and it's kind of flat for a second, and then it's just this. For over a mile. It was over a mile, because I passed the mile marker for 22, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna, like, run as much of this as I can, and if I need to walk, I don't want to, like, kill myself on it.
Yeah.
And I started walking, and I passed mile marker 23, and it was still, like,
holy shit.
Yeah. But I was like, if I start running,
no, then you're just gonna die.
Yeah. And I want to be able to, like, run the rest of it. And then it's like you do that, and then it's like a gradual downhill until, like, the last maybe half mile.
Yeah.
But I feel like my quads were just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it until probably the last 4 miles, and I was really done.
You were over it. Yeah. I get that. When you finished, you were delirious. You were like... And, like, you just, like, were like a baby bird. Like, you just came out of the womb. You had no idea what was happening. We were waiting for you, like, by the finish line. There was, like, a group of 5 of us, and some of the girls that I was with had taken a picture and had known this guy or whatever, and so he was like, who are you guys waiting for? And we're like, oh, our friend Erica, she's gonna come. Like, you have to get a picture of us. So we call her over, and Erica's just like, oh, okay, and, like, comes over, and then the guy goes...
I legit had just crossed, like, the finish line.
Immediately stopped, and they're, like, I'm not just, like, jogging in and then meeting us. It was, like, run, stop, walk. stop, take picture. And then the guy was like, okay, we're gonna do a jumping photo. And all of us are like, I don't think she needs to jump. He goes, yeah, do the ones like where you like, you know, like extend your legs. I'm like, no. And she goes, how about if I just like jump off this curb? And Becca and I look at each other and I'm like, she's gonna break her ankle. Like, this is not the time to be doing this. And so you like do it and we're like, okay, great. And then he goes, okay, one more. And we're like, oh my God. I literally am like, shit, this is it. We're not doing any more after this.
I appreciated that you were like, okay,
we're done. Yeah, we're done. Please stop, because I could like see it in your face. You're like, I don't know what day it is. I don't even know my name. I need to move.
I need to not be
standing here. Oh my gosh. But how were your like? What was your like mentality throughout this race? Like, where were your mentals at?
I'm glad you asked, because I was feeling really good, and I feel like honestly starting at the end was great, because I 97% of the time was passing people, and like a few people passed me, but it was like not
the same
as like constantly being passed. And so I feel like that helped me a lot, and like there were still some crowds. But then when I got to like mile like 17 to 19, I started to like have a little bit of knee pain. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I haven't had knee pain this whole time. And then I was like, it's in your head. Like, it's not, you're just like freaking yourself out. Yeah. It's fine. And so I kept running. And then when I got to the hill, it was like my IT band was like so tight. And I, like, walking up the hill, it was like stretching my calf. And I was like, this is like a lot. This is hurting. And then I was beating myself up about walking, and like, you said you wanted to run this whole thing, and now you're not. And then I was thinking about what I would have to tell people if they asked me, which I didn't even really tell anyone I was doing this to begin with. Like, not all my siblings even knew, and they were like, what? Why didn't you say anything? And I just think that I didn't want
it to get to you,
to get to me, of like having to tell people that like I have this goal, I want to run the whole thing, and then I walked for over a mile, and then that feels like I didn't do it, and then so there was a spiraling moment, but then the last like I ran at least the last 2 miles like straight. I was doing a little run walk for a second after that hill, and I turned it around, and I was like, no, like, this, you train for this feels so much better than any time I've ever done like a running race, and you just did 26 miles, so like, chill out, girl. So I'm glad I was able to like bring it back, and I was like, it was really nice seeing everyone at the end. I think that's like so cool that our friends show up for each other in that way, because I've never experienced that, and I feel like I've run races before where I just go, I finish the race, and then I go home, and like, it's cool, but it's also not the same.
No, not at all.
So how was your mental?
This is just like, I know we've been talking about like the theme of like community and friendships and the same shit that we've been talking about, but it's just like, it does not ever stop for me. Like, I'm never just like, okay, like, we talked about it on the podcast, so it's done. Like, I just, seeing it today when we were talking about, like, you know, people giving out shots and all these people, like, families, like, like, so many families in these neighborhoods came out, and then, like, they made their own sourdough bread, made their own coffee. Like, this is signs. Their money.
The people, like, screaming and, like, with the sign, and I'm like, you don't know me.
And they're just like, no, like, good, great job, all this stuff. I'm like, you don't have to do this. This is 7 a.m. on a Sunday. Everybody has to work tomorrow. Like, you don't need to be here. But you're here because it's a community thing, and it's nice. And then on top of it, having friends to come and like meeting new people and hanging out after. It's just like, I don't know. It just fills like your cup in a way that like you don't know you need until you have it, and then you're like, wow, this is very like so special that you can't even really put it into words. It's like such a great feeling.
It is.
My mentals, I'm like blown away by myself today. Like, I think
you crushed.
I just am so proud of myself. I had no really time limit. I just wanted to keep the pace that I was doing when I was training. So I was hoping to do like 2 hours and 30 minutes. I didn't even really have a time. It was just like, My main goal, actually, I did have one goal, and it was to run the whole thing. I really did. I've never ran the whole thing before. All the 2 other times that I've done it, I've always like walked run, and I'd like really struggled, and it would get to like 7 to 11 miles where like I would have to stop. I would be telling myself like the walk wouldn't just be like a walk, okay, stretch and then go. It would be like a mile walk and then jog a little bit, and then it was just, I just didn't want to do that, and I have not been training this hard to do that. So I did not want to walk. Yeah. And I didn't. I stopped twice because I had these little toe wraps on thinking that they would help. They didn't. So I stopped one to take the first one off. And then I stopped again after we broke off to take the other one off. And I felt so good. I think there was a point where we got to, it's kind of hard to say like on the race, but like kind of where the pool was, and I kind of like, now I knew the neighborhood and I knew what was left.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that there were a little bit of hills here and there, and I really like.
Do you feel like knowing helped? Or...
Yes and no. I like knowing. I've always wanted to like know. I've always like, even in practice, I wanted to always know what the set was so I can get prepared. But where I struggle, like I know my body is capable of like incredible things. Where I struggle is my self-talk and my mental. I can talk myself out of or into anything depending on the situation that I was. And for the first time, like I didn't really have any thoughts in my brain. I just like was
literally.
like,
I'm like
I just go. No, nothing. I like wanted to think of things, and I wanted to like tell myself like, okay, when it gets tough, remember like there were times where I was like, no, you told yourself you are gonna run, you're gonna run. And then I'd be like, okay. And so I am just like baffled because I've never done that before. Like never. That I struggled like even swimming, because it's a very quiet sport since your head's in the fucking water, where I would just like be so mean and negative to myself or talk myself out of stuff. And I did not do that at all today. And then I felt like I really pushed myself, and then I had no idea. My watch was telling me I was at mile 10 when I was at mile 12. So I was like, I don't even know what pace I'm at. I don't know where I am. I have no idea. And so when I finished and I looked at like the unofficial time, and my like average pace was like 9 minutes and 48 seconds. I was like, what? I've never ran this fast before in my life. No, this is not probably in my life, but I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy what happens if you just like shut up and listen to your body. And like, I felt like pain in my toes, so I stopped and I took care of myself. Yeah. And then kept going. Yeah. I'm like, I'm like right in this high right now. I love it.
It's a good feeling.
It really is. It really is a good feeling.
It also shows like how preparing helps.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, it's crazy how like when you actually put in time for a thing that you know is coming up, and you schedule time and you have like dates with yourself, how that helps you when it comes time. And I'm sure people are like, yeah, no shit, but it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see those videos of like, guy runs marathon, no training or whatever, and it's like, okay, sure, maybe you can do that. That sounds like a miserable experience. I don't know if you'll ever want to run that again. I don't know, like, for what? Why would you do that?
I also feel like I needed this too, because when inevitably I'm gonna do this again for sure, when I'm training for it, the training days are hard. Waking up at 5 a.m. to go run 10 miles is not fun. Like, no one wants to do that. Yeah. But in those moments where I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get up, I don't want to run, this shit is hard, I'm going to be like, you're going to really like when you excel when it comes to the actual race.
Because it's almost like this is like a foundation. Even though we've like run races before, I feel like it's been so long since the last one. So it's like, now you have this like base, and you know how good it felt, and like the more you do it, the better it's going to feel, and the faster you're going to get, and you're going to be really stoked on it, and love it. Good stuff.
Hell yeah. We've talked about a little bit before of like with swimming and being an athlete and how to deal with that as an adult, but like when you have a good experience, especially being like a little bit older and training and working and figuring out like life, as well as making like your health and fitness a priority, I am like, okay, like I want to keep it going. Like I want to make goals. I want to do things. I want to have other races. What does that look like for me in the future?
Yeah. I think that just comparing this experience and even my half Ironman with what I've done before, Because it's like, yeah, I've done these things before, but it was all on my own. And I feel like it's just fun to, like, sign up for things with someone.
Oh, yeah.
And then you, like, we didn't work out. We didn't do a lot of runs together.
Mm-mm.
I think we did 5,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. But even those, like, that was great. And just knowing that you were also training and, like, we could talk about it.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel, like, annoying.
Alone. Yeah, or annoying. Yeah. I did not. Or alone. Okay. Stop talking for each other. That would be great. Let's say the same word that we're thinking of. Actually, side note, have you seen those Instagram reels where, like, they count down and they say a word? And so it's like 1, 2, 3, and you say a word. So, okay, we're just going to do it for a second. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Soccer.
Couch. So you said soccer, I said couch, and now we have to, like, somehow get to a point for us to say the same word.
Oh.
So we have to, like, correlate soccer and couch, which is, like, so hard. It's a horrible example.
We have to correlate it?
Well, not correlate. That's not a good word. But, like, you have to...
That's a good word.
But, like, it is. Maybe not for this moment, but I do enjoy that word. Like, you said soccer, I said couch. So, like,
Okay.
what would be your next word? Like,
Potato.
hold on, I have to think.
That's right.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but I was thinking, like, we would have to continually, like, count down and say words until we both landed on the same word. So if
And
you
see how
said,
many times that
and
takes.
see how many times it would take.
Okay.
So, but if you said soccer and I said couch, like, how would we find a word that, like, matches both? Because, like, that's obviously, like, your wave, you know, your brain wave. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Well, anyway, if you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow. I thought you were going to say the trend that's going on, where it's like you and your friend have, like, certain phrases or words.
I love that.
Yeah.
But we don't really have any, do we? I've thought about it because I want to make one, but I'm like, we don't really have, like...
Special things.
Yeah.
that we say.
I feel like every day brings a different saying.
Yeah,
I don't think there's,
true.
like, one day that we... Oh, my God, wait, time out. We have to tell them about our hug last night. We never hug, and when we do, it's always horrendous.
It's because we never do it, so we're like so
awkward.
awkward.
And also, she's like 2 feet taller than I am, so it just doesn't work.
I just feel like you're in my bosom.
Say that. Your bosom. I guess,
I
yeah.
just feel like motherly, like I'm like nuzzling you in.
This is not how we hug.
It's true.
I'm not like, ooh.
Motorboating.
I have to breathe. I have to breathe.
Sweating.
Me too.
Sweat shot.
She's got, like, really hot in here.
Yeah.
No, so
Anyway.
we wanted to, like, wish each other luck, so she's like, I'm gonna give you a hug, and so we go to give each other a hug, and our feet literally go, like, literally our feet decided to, like, smush up against each other, so we're, like, in this hug, while our feet are also like this, and then in the middle of the hug, as we're still hugging, we're like, why did our feet do this? And we, like, look down and it was just insane.
It was actually so
It was
crazy.
just so weird, and we, like, didn't pull apart, and our feet were there, and it was just a lot, and then we're like, okay, night, and we just both closed our doors. Like, this is why we don't hug.
Or maybe why we should hug more so that doesn't happen.
Or that.
I just think it's so funny because I feel like I'm, like, pretty affectionate. But with you, I think because I know that you don't like it.
Yeah, I think this is me.
So I'm like, you know that I love you.
I know.
And
I
don't
do.
need to hug you for you to know that.
I hope you know that too.
Yeah.
But next time we want to hug, we should make sure our feet in the right position before we do that. That was so strange.
That was crazy.
Anyway, goals.
Goals, fitness.
Fitness goals. So what are your goals? What do you want to do?
I feel like I've kind of done like the biggest events that I want to do for a while.
Yeah.
Not that I never want to do them again, but I don't know that they're things I want to be like, all right, next month I'm doing another half Ironman, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, maybe that's like a once a year thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then having like, I would like to do an Olympic distance triathlon, which is like half of what I did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I would like to do a half marathon. And I feel like I also just want to get, like, yeah, I had a training plan, but I do miss, like, lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I was never, but it wasn't consistent enough where I wasn't, like, I don't know. Like, I like lifting heavy.
I do, too.
And I want to, like, grow my strength in that way instead of the, like, random, do some bicep curls, do some shoulder press. Like, I like, okay, I did a heavy squat. Let's try this again in a week and see if I, like, improved, you know?
I totally get that.
So I want to, like, incorporate that more because I feel like it'll be less time that I need to dedicate to training for the other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have more time to do that. And I feel like because I'm enjoying everything so much, it's like, I want to do these events, but I want to be able to, like, schedule them around when other people also can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like, oh, I need to do an Olympic distance, so I'm just going to sign up for one. Like, I want to see what other people can do. I think it'd be really fun to do a relay.
Yeah.
What were you going to
I
You were waiting for me to say,
yeah,
you do a triathlon.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
What about you? What are your goals?
I definitely agree with the strength training. I enjoy going to the gym and making that a part of my, like, weekly, monthly, whatever that I have in there and seeing if I can continue that just because it makes me feel so good and it's just such a good way of, like, either preparing for the day or, like, letting go of things. It's just, I think it is less about, especially now, less about what I look like and more about what I feel like, both my body and my head. Like, it just clears up so much space, especially since I'm, like, really trying to, like, not smoking. I'm just trying to take care of myself, and it just is so helpful, and it's something that's I've always enjoyed, so I'd like to get back into that. I've also been playing around with the idea. I've not done any research or, like, really even looked it up, but I think it would be fun to do a swim meet, like, do a master's program.
I love that.
And I feel like it would just, like, be powerful in so many ways for me to put myself in a position that caused so much stress and anxiety for me as a kid and to do it as an adult. Like, running this race today and being, like where I am, like, it's so hard to describe, but, like, the feeling that I have in my mind is, like, I don't even know. I'm, like, so proud of myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so to put myself in another position and, like, test myself in that way would be, like, the ultimate, you know, even if it's just, like, 100 fly or, like, 200 IM, things that are, like, I can do in a
like
pool right now.
Reclaiming that in a way of, like, I enjoyed it, and it wasn't about the time.
Yes, and also, like, almost like reclaiming my identity, because, like, I am a swimmer and I will always be a swimmer, but I want to enjoy it, and I feel like it's been a really long time since I can't even remember the last time, maybe my last swim meet, but even then there's always this, like, pressure of, like, team and, like, PR and, like, all this shit, so, like, for me to do it and do it for me and no one else, but because, like, I actually love this sport so much, would be very, like, empowering to me.
I love that. It's a great idea.
I, like, want to do a triathlon, but I would want to do it because, like, everybody else is doing it. I just like the biking really, like, I think people are annoyed with how many times I say I don't like biking, but I, like, really don't like biking, and I just like the training piece. But I feel like it would be a really cool accomplishment.
Yeah.
Or, like, any kind of race, honestly. Like, another half marathon would be cool. An adventure race.
Would you ever want to do, like, I was gonna say, like, a Spartan or a Tough Mudder? Like,
oh yeah, like those, like, something like that would be really just, like, another way to push yourself, and something, like, different would be a lot of fun.
I don't want to do those, so
that's
where we can differ.
Got it.
I like biking.
And I like
and you
dirt.
like I just see myself being bad at every obstacle and being annoyed, and like now I'm dirty and I have a dislocated shoulder.
I'm like, how do you train for that though? Like, do I have to go on the military base and use their like little obstacle course thing? I just see myself like hurtling over these logs in front of like all these military men. That should actually be really fun. Like, what are you talking about? I love that. But yeah, those I think are the goals that I have right now. I obviously want to continue training. I don't want to just like stop. It was really nice to push myself because I had the race. I don't want that to just like stop now that I don't have that, which I like, even already the race was literally today and I already feel anxiety about that.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure like I have a plan, but it's so hard. Like I said, it's so easy for me to talk myself out of. I can say like, write down on my schedule, gym this day, swim this day, but if I don't have a race or something I'm looking forward to, it's really hard for me to stay on the grind. I mean, it's just mental. Like, I just have to decide to do that. But
I feel like maybe the goal this week could be, like, to research those things.
Yeah.
Like, to maybe find a master's group or, like, find another race that you'd want to do.
Yeah.
That you think would be cool. I know this is us just, like, talking about our goals, but I hope that, like, I think the story or, like, how we've come to get to this place where we're like excited to be talking about these things does have a lot to do with community and also obviously like the work that we've done on ourselves, but we've talked about it before, and it's like there are so many cool clubs now, like running clubs, cycling clubs, like literally anything. If you look on like Meetup, you can find it, and it's like awkward and weird, and you aren't always going to have a good time at those, I would think. But I feel like it's nice to find like-minded individuals that want to also, maybe like they've done it before and they would like help you, or they want to try something for the first time. Because I just think that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Because it's like way different to have a goal of accomplishing an event than training with someone.
Yeah. And also when you are exercising in a club, no matter what it is, like everybody's so busy doing whatever it is the activity is, like no one's really like looking at or worried about like how you look, are you engaging, are you having fun? Like it's really easy to kind of like start there and like just dip your toe in and go into it and then like slowly evolve. Like there are like run clubs that I've done where I'm like, I'm not talking to a single soul, like we did in Miami, didn't talk to a single fucking person but Erica, and that was fine and I had a blast. But there are other run clubs that we've done, the only other actual run club I've ever done, and like talking and people are taking videos and pictures and introducing myself while on a run. Like you really are in control of how much you put into that, and it's just like a great starting, and it's such an easy way to meet people, and again, just like this theme of community and friendship, it's like, I don't know, so important. And just like on this fitness thing with the race and taking care of yourself, I mean, it's all morphing together here.
I feel like I push for these things in a lot of episodes because of what you talk about with like reclaiming like a sport. Like I think if you grew up a student athlete, you might have like some trauma or like this mindset of like, if I go to like a run club when I wasn't a runner, like everyone's gonna judge me, it's a competition, when it's literally not. Like as an adult, we're all just like trying to figure it out. It's like you get out of college and there's no more like curated events for you.
You really have to make it up.
And I feel like that's just what this is.
And I also, like, the older I get, the more I realize, very similar to what I was talking about in previous episode, just about, like, our parents, their first time walking through life. I think you get to a point when you leave school and you leave these things that are curated for you that you realize, like, we're all just people. Like, we're all human. We're all trying to navigate it. And actually, like, I don't know, we're all, like, decent people. I really do truly believe that like the majority of us, most people are good, and you just have to go out there and see it.
We're having a lot of fun. I'm excited for summer and to like have something to train for and to find something to do. Oh, open water swim also.
Oh yeah,
I
we
do
did say
think
that.
would be nice.
I agree.
So make some fitness goals. Find an event. Find a club. If you're already doing those things, keep doing them. I think it helps.
Yeah.
And take care of yourself. You know where to find us. Apply to Spoke Podcasts. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. And see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.